It's Gospel Sunday TV with Keith Solis.
All right, thanks for watching Gospel Sunday TV. I'm Keith Solis, and you know this dude right here, man.
Hi, yes, I'm Kirk Franklin. How are you?
He's been
Nice
here
to
so
meet
many
you.
times he doesn't need an introduction. It's Kirk Dwayne Franklin, everybody.
You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do
The
that.
government name.
You didn't have to do that.
What's up, man?
Good seeing you, brother.
Good to see you again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
So we're getting ready for Kirkchella. Is that what it's called?
That's hilarious.
The Exodus Music and Arts Festival.
Something like that.
Man, so this is not just a concert. Tell me about what's going to be happening out at Toyota Music Factory.
Well, believe it or not, the genre of gospel music has never, since its inception, has ever had a national event that celebrated the whole work of the music.
Okay.
It has never had a Coachella.
Okay.
It's never had a Lollapalooza. And you would think that would have happened throughout all the different turns and changes of the genre, but it's never had one. And so my goal and my desire, along with my business partner Ron Hill and Live Nation, and Sean G, and a couple of other guys, is to be able to celebrate the music in a format that shows its viability, shows the diversity, and the platform to be able to inspire and aspire people in many different formats and many different styles. And so the very first year it's going to just be a one-day event, but we want to grow it into like a 2, 3, 4-day event that will celebrate young filmmakers or young TV writers or marriage seminars and entrepreneurial classes, to be able to be a 360 type of approach to family entertainment that has a vertical narrative connected to it. Whether it's a comedy that's clean but still funny as heaven. Yeah. And to be able to get it to a place where people know that it's going to be an annual destination for them, to be able to pack up the family. And what I love about the venue and the location, I don't know if you've been to that venue. They are building really dope hotels, and it's all going to be conducive to people being able to leave the hotel room and be able to go get something to eat and be able to come to the factory, the factory and the venues, or we're going to have outside stages. So it'll be something that will be within a vicinity for families to be able to entertain themselves and be able to enjoy the entire weekend event and not spend a lot of money catching Uber and Lyft, to be able to walk out of your room and be able to catch a seminar, a class, or grab food, or be able to pull out a blanket and listen to some of the dopest gospel and inspirational and positive music that you've ever heard.
Well, man, thank you for doing this. I think gospel music needs this, and it's just interesting when I sit here and think about your journey and where you came from. And I remember back in the day, Why We Sing and Stomp came out, and everybody was, who is this guy? What is he doing? And now we have come to the point. You got kicked out of churches, man. They literally told churches, don't sing his songs.
No, I literally got kicked out. Literally got kicked out of churches, and they asked me to leave because of the music or whatever.
But now Snoop's got a gospel album. Nicki Minaj is doing gospel, and we've got all sorts of stuff going on, and you have now become Hammer. And you've become sort of the elder statesman of gospel now.
Don't do that.
Because you've got a lot of these young cats who are looking up to you, and how does that make you feel now, man?
Well, they're looking down to me because of the just the physicality of it.
I can't.
It's just some things that can't change. It's like Jesus, he won't change.
Yeah.
Looking down to me, that's just what it is. But I'm just very honored to be whatever it is you want to define me as, to be able to be part of people's story, and to have the gratitude of being part of people's history as well.
But it's interesting, man, because there are certain songs. For example, I'll listen to one of your songs, and I remember what I was doing or where I was when I first heard that song. And it's interesting that your career has lasted that long to where you have a catalog of music.
It's interesting to me.
It's kind of the storybook or the soundtrack to our lives.
Without singing a note.
Without singing a note, man. Isn't that's just amazing to me.
That's Jesus.
But you know what, man? You started something because
that's Jesus.
Really, before you, wasn't nobody talking on songs. You started talking, now everybody's talking on songs.
That's funny. Well, I wasn't trying to talk on something.
You just have a choice.
You know, well, really, you know what I was doing? Is I was doing what was happening on Sunday mornings. When a choir would get up and sing, the pastor would be kind of talking through the song. You know, and it's something that was very normal to the black church experience.
Right.
So what I was doing is I was narrating and communicating like I'd done every Sunday.
Yeah. Okay.
And it wasn't a problem then. So.
And certainly it's not a problem now. So, man, what's your opinion though on the state of gospel music today? Has it gotten better? What do we need to do, or is it great, or what?
Well, I think that music will always be an echo of culture, and that's what music has always been from the 60s to the 70s. Music has always echoed culture, and so whatever culture is speaking, thinking, or being, it will be reflective in the art around it, whether it was the Michelangelos or the paintings of Basquiat. You know, you will always see art in some type of form reflect what's happening in the moment, and that's just a continuum of what happens in music.
Wow.
And so gospel music is not alienated to what's happening in culture, because people that go to church on Sunday mornings are people that live within culture. And I think that that the gospel may move and change and have different forms and formats and ways of expressions, but it will always be the gospel. And I think that there will always be music to be able to communicate what that is saying at that particular moment. It may not sound like Mahalia Jackson. It may not sound like Lecrae. It may sound like something else when it's time to sound like something else. And I think that we have a hope in that, and that we believe that it's not going anywhere, but it will change and it will morph and it will use for a unique choice of words. It will evolve, but that evolution is more micro than macro.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you the Mahalia Jackson to Lecrae comparison, because there are still, I think, a lot of, or certain ministries, for example, who, you know, whatever you decide to wear a different color shirt, then now they've got a whole series of why Kirk Franklin is bad.
That's funny. Well, there's only one preacher that does that.
And
we're not going to call his name. Local guy.
Can't call his name.
Local
call
guy
his name,
town.
but we can't call his name. But
Local
is there a
guy town.
personal situation?
Local
Because to me,
light-skinned
it
guy
seems
town
like there's
with
more
freckles.
of a personal thing than,
Local
in
guy
some
that
cases,
I know, I even used to date his sister. Local guy. I've never even heard from him.
Okay.
Never even called me up, talked to me. Local guy.
Yeah.
Local guy. Yeah.
But continues to profit off of your ministry by selling his
Yeah,
tapes.
Yeah. And we used to be really good friends, and never really heard from him. And like I said, I dated his sister, and he was the bar when we were younger. I loved listening to his music. I mean, we all wanted to be like him. And when I started hearing what was being communicated, it was a big shock to me, because I never got a phone call. Never once got a phone call. Kids go to the same school.
Wow. Really?
And we didn't even know. Never even know. Started hearing it in the press, and it was very heartbreaking. And then when we found out the capitalism behind it, then it makes sense. So, you know, we wish them well.
And it's interesting, man, the song you had on your Losing My Religion album, Pray For Me. And when I heard the lyrics, I heard you sing that song, that's immediately thought of that particular situation. Because it's like, well, why would you do all of this stuff and say all of these things without just talking to the brother?
Yeah, and that became another series, too, the Losing My Religion.
Absolutely.
He profited off that, too. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Quite interesting. And but we won't call any names.
No names. Light skin, freckles, short like me.
So, you've been married for how many years?
I've been married for 22 years to the same woman. What's up, girl?
And we're talking about Tammy.
What's
and
up, girl? What's
you
good
two
with it,
will
Ma?
be featured on the OWN series, season 2 of Black Love.
Yeah, we're going to be on
Man,
Black Love.
So what was that like?
It was black.
How? I mean, like the whole did they called you and say, look, we want to come to your house and ask you these questions?
Yeah. And so they came to the crib, and you know, Tammy's so good at that, and I'm excited. I forget when it airs, but it's going to come on really, really soon, man. We had a really good time. We had fun. As a matter of fact, we're doing a Q&A panel this Saturday at the Angelique.
Supposed to be there.
Great, man.
In
Great.
Plano, yeah.
Great. Yeah, so come on
So
out.
Did anybody cry? You cried? She cried?
No, I ain't
Nobody
cried.
cried?
I'm a thug. I'm a gospel thug.
Well, no, that's what on the promo she said you were the gospel something else.
Well, wasn't that funny?
I was like, oh,
Wasn't that hilarious?
this is gonna be good.
It's gonna be real good.
It's gonna be good.
But I'm a changed man now. I'm all good. I'm a changed man.
Thank God for Jesus.
Thank God for Jesus.
And so your kids, man, I follow you on Instagram, and so your youngest son went to the prom.
His very first prom,
Dude.
man. Yeah, scary. But he was sharp, though.
He was.
He was sharp. You was fresh, though, boy. You was fresh, though, boy. He was fresh. I'm proud of my boy, man. He's an incredible musician and plays several different instruments. I mean, no, he has more talent in his pinky than I could ever even imagine for myself. So he's dope.
And one of your daughters is married. So, are you ready to become a grandfather?
No.
Yeah. What is?
They better not be having
What
sex.
is Papa Kirk gonna be like? What is that gonna be like?
First of all, they better not be having sex.
I think they may be.
Then, watch your mouth.
They may be.
Hush your mouth. What you say? That cannot be happening. Blasphemy. It's all heresy. Blasphemy, I say. Get your hands off my daughter, boy.
Oh, man. You ever thought about becoming a grandfather?
No. Ain't nobody got
man.
time for that. No. I'm still trying to get it right. No, man. When the time is right, we're going to be great grandparents, whenever that time is right. But I ain't trying to think about that now. I got too much sauce. Too much sauce, man.
This dude right here, man.
Too much sauce. I'm still trying to keep it popping.
Well, listen, you need to go and find out all
I don't
you
want
need.
the grandkids to know what I'm doing to their grandmama, so we're trying to keep it.
See.
You do what, the Nana?
Can we just stop? We can't just stop. That's great.
You do what to Nana?
That's great.
Well, I've been at your Nana.
We're done. Thank y'all for watching. Goodbye.